So after touching on the part of section A, let's now look at this section B, where we have 60 marks. And under this one, question number 41, it's talking about write the letter names for each of the notes on the stars below in the spaces marked A, B, C, and D. So the first staff that we have been given is the staff for the treble, and the second one is the staff for bass. So you find that on the first staff, note A is note D, then note B, part B is note C, and when you talk about the bass staff, note that part C is note C, and part D is note G. Let's go back to the treble staff. We have a formula that the learner is supposed to use to come up with the note names on each spaces and lines. For example, the bottom line is E, then the second bottom line, so we have E, F, G, and you see that clef is coiling on that line, and that's why sometimes it's called the G clef. Then G, A, B, the third line is B. So we say that every good boy deserves freedom. Every good boy deserves freedom. So you come up with that formula, and the spaces will take the remaining notes. When you go to the bass clef, we have the bottom line is line G, and the second top line is line F. So from G, A, B, so we say that good boys deserve favor always. Good boys deserve favor always. So that's the formula you can use to get the notes on line when you're talking about the bass clef. So the spaces will take the remaining notes which will be in between that formula. Question number 42. The following rhythm is in 4/4 time. Rewrite it, grouping the notes appropriately using monotone on the staff and bar lines. So when you talk about monotone, monotone refers to singing or speaking using only one pitch. You sing or you talk using only one pitch. And remember, when you talk about pitch, we are talking about the lowness or highness of a voice when someone is singing or speaking. So to write notes in monotone, all notes are written at the same pitch. So this means there is no movement up or down in the melody. You decide that you want to come up. Remember, we have been told to use the 4/4 time. So that means in each bar, we are going to have 4 crochet beats. So if we decide like that, we want to use the treble clef. That means that if we decide to use the bottom line, which bar will be on that line, E in each bar. In each bar, we are going to write the letter names or those notes on that line. So it's that it is in monotone. Question number 43. Grade 9 learners prepared a play for preparation for the National Music Festival. Their teacher asked them to consider the factors of a play and also consider the various stages in play. So outline 5 components of a play. So a play, we have various components of a play. We have characters, we have playwright, we have stage, we have title, language, style, act, scenes, setting, and also we have dialogue. So those are some of the components or elements of a play. Part B, outline the 5 stages outlined when preparing to perform a play. So stages that are outlined when preparing to perform a play are as follows. The first one, reading and understanding the script. We have casting the actors, then rehearsing. We have preparing the costumes, props, and sceneries. We have technical rehearsal. That means you check on the lighting, test, sound, and stage. Then we have another one, dress rehearsal. So you check the props that you are going to use if they are ready. So that's under the dress rehearsal. Then we have the final performance. Final performance. Now you are now performing the play. Question 44. During an annual exhibition to show talents, learners prepared to perform a folk dance from a certain Kenyan community. So, identify 2 of the factors the learners considered in choosing the folk dance. So, factors to consider when choosing a folk dance, we have the origin or the community of the folk dance. We have the gender, is it performed by men or women? We have occasion, when is it performed? During harvest festival, during marriage. The function, we have the age of the performers, is it performed by old, young, or children? Then we have the message or theme in that dance. Part B of that question, identify 2 roles that the learners could have been involved in the dance. So we have roles like a soloist, we have singers, and we have instrumentalists. Those are some of the roles. Part C, identify 2 ways in 2 ways the learners could have been appreciated by the audience. So when we talk about ways of appreciating learners in folk dance performance, we have clapping, we have cheering or giving words of encouragement, we have presenting awards, you can talk about complimenting or praising them, and inviting them for another performance. So those are some of the ways. So let's go to the part of sport, question number 46. And here you are being told to answer question number 45 and 46. For question 48 and 49, you choose one. So question 45, during the regional sports day, learners were asked to participate in a triple jump in order to jump as far as possible. So question part A, outline 2 main steps in a triple jump. So when we talk about steps in a triple jump, we have those steps that usually take place in takeoff. So we have the hop step, we have the step, and we have the jump. So we have hop and jump. Then we have itself the step. Part B, write down some 2 phases which are used when performing triple jump. We have approach phase, take-off phase, flight phase, and landing phase. Question 48. Grade 8 learners were playing netball in 2 teams. Their coach taught the various ways of performing a chest pass. Write down some phases that they used during their training. So here we have the preparation phase, we have execution phase or action phase, we have the follow-through phase, and we have the recovery phase. So those are the phases that the learners were taught when practicing chest pass in netball. Question 47. Teacher John introduced learners to rope games played in various Kenyan communities. So the question is, what is an indigenous rope game? So indigenous rope games are traditional games played using ropes. They are traditional games played using ropes. Part B of that question, write 4 roles the game play in the society. So the Rope games, we find that they improve emotional well-being of the participants. They promote healthy habits. It's a source of fun and enjoyment to the participants. It also strengthens muscle, and lastly, it increases flexibility. So, question C, list down 4 examples of rope games. We have Republican, we have tug of war, we have swinging, we have bladder, and we have rope skipping. So those are examples of rope games. Republican, tug of war, swinging, bladder, and rope skipping. Question 48. During a sport day, learners were introduced to swimming using the inverted breast. Define what an inverted breaststroke in swimming is. So you find that it is a technique where a swimmer lies horizontally on his or her back facing upward while performing kicks. Is a technique where a swimmer lies horizontally on his or her back facing upward while performing kicks. Then part B of that question, how is the inverted breaststroke performed? So list the various phases. We have the body position phase, we have the leg action phase, we have the arm action phase, and we have the breathing action phase. Then we have the coordination phase. Question number 49. Grade 9 learners were learning about the football game. Their coach taught them many skills required in order to play well. Name 2 skills learned when playing a game of football. We have trapping skills, we have dribbling skills, and we have shooting skills. Then part B of that question, name 2 ways of trapping the ball. So when we trap the ball, we have the chest trap, we have thigh trap, and we have foot trap. Then name 2 ways of dribbling in football. We have inside of the foot dribble and outside of the foot dribble. So part 3, that's the part of visual art. Question 50. As a teacher of creative art and sport, you are required to prepare an artwork with learners like the artwork below. What type of artwork is shown above? So we have various types of artwork. For example, the first one is drawing. We have painting artwork. We have printmaking artwork. We have sculpture, pottery, collage, mosaic, beadwork, and digital work, and many more. Name some of the features found in the artwork. So the artwork here is drawing artwork. So the features that you can see there, we have features like trees, houses, we have boat, we have water, hills, and valleys. And remember, it is a seascape drawing. It is a seascape drawing. Then question number 51. During a picture making activity, learners made a photomontage artwork using varied materials. Outline 4 steps for photomontage making. So steps in photomontage making, we have collecting of materials or assembling of materials. We have cutting out the pictures. We have arranging the pictures on the base and mark the positions of each photo, then attaching after applying adhesive on the back side of each picture cut out and pasting it on the mounting base. Then we have cutting off any extra materials from the surface base. Then we have displaying the work for feedback. So question 52. Learners were asked to analyze a play performance, and they were supposed to list down 4 elements to be considered when analyzing a play. So, analyzing a play performance involves a deep study and interpretation of the play performed while enumerating the reasons that make it worth watching or listening to. So, some of the elements that you have to check on the choice of the theme, the story, the conflict, language and style used in it. We have the characters, then also the resolution. We have the audience involvement, use of body movement in space. We have costumes, props and decor, and lastly acting and use of voice. So that's the end of our revision session for grade 9 creative art paper. Thank you. And if you have any recommendation on how to improve our revision, let me know through the comment section. Thank you and may God bless you. Remember to subscribe to Brands Academy, where learning is made easy.